Hi friends, I'm Shauna. Welcome to the channel and welcome into another video. Today I am bringing you a video that is now a new year staple or classic at this point because I've done it several years going. I am talking about all of the things that I'm not buying in 2023. I freaking love watching these videos. I love hearing what is on other people's not to buy list. I'd love to know in the comments, what are you actively not buying this year? And I would love to know how, I guess on a difficult scale, how difficult you think it'll be to achieve your goals. Wow, wow. That did not sound nice. Can you tell I'm in a mood today? I just meant to say, like, you know what? Just let me know what you're painting. Let me know what you are not buying this year. Okay, chaotic energy, we're going to go for it. There are only 3 things on my list this year that are carryovers from last year. And I wanted my goals this year to be attainable, but I also wanted them to be stretching me a little bit. So I could have carried over a lot of what I had last year, like plants as an example. But plants last year, they actually weren't the struggle as I thought that they would be. Like I thought I would be more inclined to buy some or more inclined to buy more, but I wasn't. I just don't have a space for some. So it just kind of contains things naturally. So there's no point in putting that on this list, or at least it just kind of feels like a cop-out. You know, like I'm putting things on that I can't buy or know that it's not going to be difficult to not buy them. And the first one are candles. I truly love a candle. I love when my space smells great. The reason why I'm not buying candles this year, and I didn't buy any last year, is because candles are a really giftable item. And somebody typically gifts me a candle every year. Candles do make great gifts, and I do love giving them to other people. But if I just have this colossal backstock of candles and I can't burn through them, like for me, candles take a long time to burn through. I'm not burning a candle for 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. So having more than a couple of candles doesn't really make sense. And that means that I'll own them for years. And I already have candles that have been around for about 3 years. I think my oldest candle is about 3 years old at this point, which in candle life for me just kind of feels like a long time. And I actually want to burn and rotate my candles. I want to get through the ones that I have and keep these numbers minimal. So if somebody does gift me a candle, then I'll be able to jump in and use it right away without feeling guilty about it or, pushing older ones off. Next up are nail polishes. And I did not buy any this past year, and I'm very, very proud of that because I do love doing my nails. I usually take time at least once a week to paint my nails, something that I find cathartic and relaxing. I love doing it on an evening, like watching a movie, that kind of thing. It's kind of part of a weekly routine. I bought a lot of nail polish in 2021. I think close to 10 shades, somewhere between like 7 and 9, I think. And that's a lot to bring in at one time. I think I've only finished 1 nail polish in the last 2 years. And I have gotten my numbers down to about half of what they were in 2020. But I feel like I have a little too much at this point. While the numbers are less, I'm not rotating through all of my colors. There's colors that I didn't get to this past year, just because I was leaning heavily on some, and like I have clear favorites, but there aren't really any that I want to declutter. Like I still like the color, and nail polish can sit around for years and it'll be fine. So this is a category that I really want to work through what I have and really just enjoy them. Getting anything more would just clutter things up, and things that aren't getting used now are probably going to get even less use if that's possible, or even shades that are getting used now might fall by the wayside. Next up are blushes, and this is the last of the 3 rollovers from last year. I love blush. It's one of my very favorite makeup categories, and I currently have about 15 blushes. That's like 35 to 40 years worth of blush. I cannot conceivably use all the blush that I already have. And if I add in any more, it's just going to create overwhelm. Like there's blushes right now that aren't being used regularly. So it just doesn't make sense to bring in more, no matter how much I love the category. I know this one is going to be one of the more difficult ones on here because of just how much I love blush, but I did it for a whole year. I can do it for another one. All right, new items. We're going to go with kind of like personal care items, and then we'll get into other categories. So I don't want to buy any lipstick this year. Lip glosses, maybe, but definitely not lipsticks. I have too many. I just have too many redundant shades. And I also don't finish that many lipsticks in a year, like 1 or 2 max. I also have a lot of bright, fun colors. And I actually think I have more of those colors than in the nude kind of everyday category because I just love a bold lip, but also how often do you see me wear them on my channel? Either way, like in either category, doesn't matter. I still have too many. I have redundancies, and it doesn't matter if a formula is new or exciting. If you already have something that you would conceivably use in its place, like it's a functional dupe. You know what I mean? So it doesn't matter if there's a new or exciting formula on the market if I already have 12 waiting on the sidelines. I think I was pretty good with lipstick this year. I don't think I bought any. Yeah, I didn't buy any. I think out of blushes and lipsticks are going to be easier than blush. I really want to focus on using what I have and actually panning lipsticks and just getting some of these favorites or getting some of these older formulas out. That's my focus, using what I have. The next thing is facial oil, and I currently have one. So you might be thinking, well, Shauna, if you only have one, why would you put it on the list? This is a Fantasy Self item that I think about buying all the time. Fantasy Self Shauna applies facial oil every night and puts it on top of the moisturizer to seal it in or whatever. I'm just not a facial oil person. I don't like the way it feels. And I also just don't use it. Which is the main thing. I don't use it. I'm perfectly fine with a nice time moisturizer. I also have oily skin. So oils can have benefits within the oil and not necessarily hydrating benefits. But one of the reasons why people with dry skin also use facial oils is because of the hydration. I think out of all of the things on here, this is the one that's on here because I've fantasy purchased this in the past, and I've tried putting my current facial oil in projects this year and have failed. I haven't really used it because I don't use it. And I'm already in my mind I'm getting down there. I should buy a new oil. No, Fantasy Self Shauna, you don't need a new oil because you're not even using the one that you have. So I just don't feel like I should own facial oils at all. And this is a category that I should feel good about not owning any. I don't want to own any of, even if Fantasy Self Shauna wants to own them, practical real life Shauna doesn't use them. So I would like to get this category down to 0. Another thing would like to get it down to 0 is shaving cream. I don't need shaving cream. I bought one 2021, I think. It's over a year later, maybe a year and a half at this point. We're probably not even at the halfway mark. And it's been over a year at this point that I've used the same one. So I think it's probably getting time to where I would finish it and then reuse it. I just don't need this product in my life. That's what I thought previously. And then I'm pretty sure I put a shade of cream in a project pan and I was like, oh my God, they feel so good. Dude, there's so many other things you could use. I could use some of that oil that I was talking about. I could use conditioner. I could use soap. All of that's fine. So I don't actually need a shaving cream. And all the things I just mentioned would probably be more hydrating on my skin than shaving cream. So this is another thing that I don't actually need to own. I don't need to own it. Next up are headbands. The past year, this November 2021 to yeah, November 2021 to now, I've loved headbands. But you may have noticed that I wore them a lot in the winter and spring, but not a lot in the summer and fall. That is, well, I guess more so. After shaving my head, I did not like the way that headbands looked on me. Like it just kind of felt too lopsided. So I haven't worn them in a few months. But just knowing me and knowing that spring is coming and I have a lot of beautiful prints that I will want to wear the ones that I have and get into them. I bought a handful in the last year and I don't need to buy more. Like I have enough variety where I think I have something like 10 different headbands. That's enough to wear one every single day of the week and not repeat, like, and have extra to spare. I don't need more. Like I absolutely don't need more. Someone needs to cut me off, so I'm doing it. There's a couple that are really old, you know, like from 5 or 6 years ago that I rediscovered in the last couple of months. And when I got back into headbands last year, I wasn't loving them, wasn't wearing them, but have since like really fallen in love with them. So this is the category where, yeah, I just need to cut myself off. I can't, I refuse to buy a single new headband in 2023. And I feel like there just needs to be headband watch on this channel, you know, like the neighbor with the binoculars, no new headbands. Next up are shoes. Out of everything on this list, everything, this is the hardest, harder than blush, harder than lipstick, harder than headbands. I'm a clothing person. I love clothes. And there's a category that I spend my most money on. It's clothes. I don't need new shoes. Like I don't. Here's the thing. I think I didn't need new shoes this year either. I found some shoes that I really loved this year. My Steve Madden boots, shoe of the freaking year. Okay. I listed them as the best purchase of the year. Okay. I love a shoe, but I feel like I have shoes in every category. Okay. Like I just feel like I do. And I also feel like when it comes to this year, there's going to be, you know, back of the mind, Shauna, who's going to try and think of and justify any excuse. Well, Shauna, you don't have this kind of thing in this exact color. I can already hear it happening. I mean, 2023 is the year that my clothing shopping life needs to come under control. And unless I actually break a shoe that's irreplaceable, or not irreplaceable, that needs to be replaced, and there's few shoes that I own that would actually qualify for, I think the point I'm really trying to make here is that I have more than enough shoes for more than enough occasions. There's some shoes that I didn't even wear this year because I didn't wear them. You know, like if you go through a year and you don't wear all of your shoes, that's a sign you have too many shoes. And my mind just wants to buy more shoes. The shopping goblin in me wants more shoes. Again, somebody needs to cut me off, and it's me. Like, it's me. I also don't have any more storage for shoes. Like, all of my little things are all full. And I'm being honest here. I feel like in a lot of these minimalist lists, people would be like, oh, I'm already like a thoughtful purchaser, and they have all these minimal homes. I'm a work in progress, okay? Like, I know that. As intentional as I feel like I can be, there are just some areas where I'm not as intentional as others, and shoes is one of them. I'm a work in progress. I can admit it. And this is the area, and of all the areas, that needs the most work. No, there doesn't need to be like a neighborhood watch for headbands. There needs to be a neighborhood watch for freaking shoes. That's what there needs to be a neighborhood watch for. Okay, I'm gonna move on. Like, you get the point. Next up is occasion wear clothes. I don't do a lot of fancy events. I don't. And this year, nervous laughter. I did buy a handful of occasion wear dresses that were never shown on this channel because I stress bought them and then like didn't really need to show them on the channel because like they weren't part of a capsule or anything. I did get a chance to wear a couple, 2, I think. And I think I bought 5. I don't need any more occasion wear clothes. I feel like I have lots of options that run the gamut, and I don't need to do it. I think I did need some occasion wear clothes, but now that I bought that handful, like I'm Gucci. Okay. This is another area where I just feel like I could just keep buying and buying and buying. Like, how many of y'all who wear dresses out there be like, oh, like, just like get a cute dress? How many of you are just enticed by the cute dress, whatever that is? I can always have another cute dress. That's the problem. I just like can't say no to a cute dress. And I don't even wear dresses all that much, which is like, it kind of feels like stupidity, you know? I'm buying all these cute dresses that I wear like 5 times a year. I wear a freaking cute dress. Anyways, I'm cutting you off. All right, next up are pajamas. 2021, like I would say December 2021 to May 2022. I think there's too many twos in there. I bought 4 pairs of pajamas. I have more than enough. And then I was also gifted a pair this holiday time, which is actually, I was gifted a pair that I already own. So I am fully stocked in the pajama game. I don't need any more. The only exception I could think of would be if I moved and I was hot all the time. I am swimming in pajamas now. I don't need more socks. But at the beginning of 2022, I had not enough socks. It was just a struggle. I bought some and then somebody gave me some and they're actually better than the ones that I bought. But the one I bought was a 10-pack, which was already a lot as it was. Then the socks that I was given were also a 10-pack. So I got 20 pairs of socks. I don't even know what to do with that. Like that many socks. There's so many. I don't know if I'm alone in this. Let me know. There's just some things where my mind will tell me like you could never have enough. You can never have enough underwear. You can never have enough bras. You can never have enough socks, the basics. So even though I have enough, I'll find myself being, let's say you're at the mall or Aerie. My brother's partner, she has like the cutest socks. And I saw them and I'm like, ooh, where'd you get your socks from? They were just cute. The ones I have are like everyday, like basic socks. They're not cute socks or theme socks or aesthetic socks. And I was like, oh, where'd you get your socks from? Dude, you already have 20, like you have 20 socks at home. More than that, with my winter socks and then my little like no-show socks and then my ankle socks. Like I have too many friggin' socks, okay? I just have too many. I don't need any more. And I'm not going to throw in an extra pair of socks in an order because they're cute and aesthetic. No, we don't need them. Okay? We don't need them in 2023. Okay, number 10, moving away from wearables, clothes, and the like. Number 10, but number 10 on the new list is hobby or art supplies. I don't need more. Like, I don't even use all the supplies that I do have, okay? I bought some pens for calligraphy that I used for a couple of months and then stopped. I also bought some art supplies for art journaling. I did, in my defense, I wrangled up some stuff that I had around the house and then used it for art journaling. But I learned that I wasn't into collaging like I thought that I was. I love watercoloring more and even just like word vomiting on a page in essence, but like not necessarily journaling. Anyways, I bought hobby supplies last year. I bought a lot to me, like maybe $40 worth of supplies. Which I'm sure if you're like a stationery junkie, that's like a Tuesday afternoon. But that felt like a lot to me, somebody who's never really purchased in that category. And I had stuff I could have used first and I did for a while, but then was like, oh, I built up a track record. I can use it. Yeah, Shauna, a week is not a track record. 2 weeks is not a track record for something like this. You need like a month as a track record. Anyways, I'm getting on a tangent. I'm going on. Anyways, I don't need any more art supplies. I just don't. I can hear future Shauna's wheels turning, like, oh, you love art journaling. You did it last year. You can get new supplies. Or Shauna, you find art journaling therapeutic. That's worth investing in. No, not if it's going to be a waste of money. What's wrong with what you already have? Truly. Future Shauna, what's wrong with all of these beautiful supplies that you already have? I have a journaling kit I could use, or like a paper kit I can use. I have fun makeup items. I have paints. I have watercolors. Like I have a lot of great stuff that I could use. and I should use it before buying anything else and building up a track record of at least a month, a minimum of 31 days before buying anything new. The last thing on the list are loose leaf teas. I bought the David's Tea Advent Calendar last year, loved it, and then bought a bunch of teas at the end of, not last year, in 2021. I bought a bunch of teas at the end of 2021, a lot of teas. And I also bought some in the fall time. While I like some of the teas, like I think it's Sleigh Ride, the tea with the peppermint, love that, one of my favorite teas. There's a handful of David's teas that I do really enjoy. That is probably where I would buy loose leaf tea if I was going to buy a loose leaf tea. If I were to buy loose leaf teas, it would probably be from David's Tea. That's why I mentioned that. I think I just brew a really strong cup of tea too. So I think I use way more than what you should. So like an $8 bag of tea, which should maybe be, let's say 10 uses, is like $4. So like each bag of tea is like $2. Beyond my absolute tippy top favorites, after drinking all this tea for a year, even longer, a lot of it blurs together and I don't need to be spending that much money on loose leaf tea. I was going through a loose leaf tea phase in 2021 and I had to deal with the ramifications of that in 2022. But ultimately, deep down, I'm a coffee girl. Like I would rather have multiple coffees that I could dip into and play with than multiple different kinds of teas. Not that I would, but I'm just saying. And I do drink an afternoon cup of tea. It can be decaffeinated. I don't really care at this point. I just love a hot beverage. I don't need a $10 bag of tea, okay? I could get like my $3 or $4 little Tetley pack and have a couple of those. By couple, I literally mean 3. To have a little bit of variety for my afternoon tea, and I can finish 3, and I'm still dealing with all of the tea that I bought over 2021. Like I still have it now in my cupboard to this day that I'm working through, and I'm kind of sick of it, and I have to take breaks with it. Loose leaf tea is not this bougie, cute moment at the end of the day that I thought it would be. When I bought the tea, I was interested in the tea itself, but I was also selling myself a lifestyle moment, like a self-care moment. It's not what I thought it would be. Like that just doesn't factor into it at all. So I just think that I need to make sure I remember that in the future for the next time that kind of messaging creeps up into my brain and entices me to buy or to desire loose leaf tea. But the other part of it is that a lot of the David's tea just kind of tastes the same after a while. Okay, those are my 14 things. No, I didn't have an even 15. I don't know. Do you want even 15? We could throw cookbooks on this list. Okay, I've been really into meal planning and I've been trying to find recipes, and I've thought, back in my mind, even now, like we're January 9th, oh, Shana, you could get a cookbook. No, you don't need to. What are things that you're not buying this year? I want to hear your lists in the comments below. Hopefully we can stick to our lists. I did a video recently or in December reviewing my 2022 list and kind of giving myself a grade on how I felt like I did in meeting those goals. So if you want to watch that video, I will link it in the cards. And I would love to see you again around here soon for a new video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.